coach Ben
How you doing,
Olsen
buddy?
here. Ben, another day, another road trip up to the Northeast. This time to play New York. How's the team prepared this week, and how you feeling?
Yeah, we haven't gone east in a while, so that's new, and we're going to play a really good opponent who's in good form and plays very well at home in a strange kind of atmosphere and field conditions and all that comes along with playing at NYC. And I've done it enough, but it's always a funky place to play. But we'll give our guys a plan, and as you said, there's a lot of games coming, and it's good. We've talked about being resilient. We've also talked about everybody contributing. We've used 20 guys throughout this month. All have contributed in a good way, and I think the month has gone fairly well. And we're asking everybody, staff and players, to dial in for another two quick games before the break. So that's but it's going to take everybody to get through these next two games and have any sort of success.
Thanks for that, Diego. We'll start with you.
Morning, Ben.
Diego.
Yankee Stadium is often noted as one of the more narrow fields in MLS. Can you talk about how you and the coaching staff, if at all, take any consideration about playing in such a...
Yeah, it's known that because it is. It's not, this isn't like urban legend. It's tight, so things happen quickly. A lot of transitions, and then within that, set pieces and proximity to goal is closer, and so more crosses, more long throw-ins and corner kicks, set pieces. A lot of this stuff ends up being, it seems like they happen more often. So you got to be good on that on both ends. It's a good way to get something out of this, is to be good in some of the dead ball moments. But also, the transitions happen very, very quickly, and the time to get the goal is reduced. But I like this team. I think they're, watching them, they are, I think they've added some different elements to the game, and they've really come at you fast. Maybe a little bit more so than some of the teams that I've been used to in the past, but they still have a mentality to build and hit you centrally. But Martinez is, for me, he's as good as they come in this league, and relentless. Morales continues to pull the strings, and wingers that can come at you in a bunch of different ways, whether it's combining underneath, but also in isolation. So they're real. It's been fun watching them, and we'll have our hands full. But again, I know it's the guys right now are we're in pretty good form. Again, it's been an okay month, and we've gotten a few results here in the league in a row, and we want to continue that. But we understand how difficult this place will be, and we hope to give them the right plan to have some success.
And player specifically in really good form is Griffin Dorsey. Where do you see him play into your role, where this team's going to need a lot more transitional play, and where do you see him necessarily making an impact?
Griffin just needs to do what Griffin does. He's in good form as far as final product and goals and assists, and he's usually in good form as far as what he does up and down, and great lungs defensively. He's this unicorn player where he can get up and down and defend and attack. But really, what's going to separate him to the next level is production, goals and assists. In particular, the way we use him, essentially as a winger in the attack. Wingers need to score goals and have assists, and he's doing that.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, we'll go to Dustin. Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Ben.
Dustin.
Short turnaround from Saturday for you guys. Is there anything that you could take from that San Jose game? It was wide open. The way they play, very different. Was there anything you could take going into this game tomorrow?
Yeah, there's some similarities to how quickly they come at you. They do it in different ways. It's not as blatant. as San Jose. New York's not as blatant as it, but they're still gonna get. We have someone losing it here. Sorry. They so keeping Martinez threatening the line constantly in the way that Martinez Joseph did that the other night. There's some similarities there, and you take the wrong step and you bring the line with no pressure higher at the wrong moment. You can get caught, and so I think the depth, especially when we're not provoking the ball as much, will be critical to this game. But again, they're good enough to come underneath on you and combine, and they bounce well and come out the other way. So there's not a lot of weaknesses to this team, other than they will try to play. And if you can pick them off in some good moments, you'll have some transitions going the other way. That also was the case in San Jose. Aggressive teams also at times leave themselves exposed if you can do it in the right way. So a little bit, yeah. Some of the moments just let us down, I think, in San Jose. But on the other side, we made enough moments on the other end to get something out of that game, and that's not an easy place to go. And San Jose's going to score goals. It was just good on the night that we were able to match them with the goals.
And just this NYCFC team, they're one of the top teams in the league in possession, really high up in touches. You guys also are a team that likes to have the ball a lot. How do those styles kind of clash?
I don't know. I'd say they're we strive to be that group. I don't know if we're there in this moment, but so we've curbed it a little bit. But yeah, we still want to build the game, but we also have to do it in a smart way. And there were some times I thought we built in San Jose that didn't make sense, and it cost us a few moments where Bond had to bail us out. So we just want to find that balance when we always talk about earning the right to play. I know it's an old adage, but it's still relevant. We got to go slug it out and still do all the little things to earn possession. If you think you're just going to chess game all the time, it's very difficult. You got to threaten in behind. We have to push them back and win duels and scrap it out. But both teams like to have the ball. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Thanks, Ben.
Jorge, go ahead.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Coach, you talked about the dimensions of Yankee Stadium, right? You talk about set pieces and all this, but you're also without Ezekiel Ponce, who scored off of a cross last game. Just how do you prepare the next man up, whether it's Toyosi or Gabe Siegel?
We have other guys. I mean, if you're asking what the set piece situation is, are you talking about set pieces or run a play?
Just to run a play. I mean,
okay.
Ezekiel Ponce scores off of a cross last game.
Yeah.
Which could be essential for this one.
Yeah, be nice. So whoever's in there, if they get the right service, hopefully they can do the same as Ezekiel. But we don't really have a like-for-like replacement for Ezekiel Ponce, if that's what you're asking. But there will be someone that plays the number 9, and we have a few different options. We're still weighing out the lineup. We're still piecing some things together, and we'll put something together. But this is really a kind of a two-game thought process, and similar to when we have these Open Cup games on a Wednesday. This is there's a we got a rhythm to this, and we're looking to find the balance of freshness and making sure we're set up to have success as well against KC, but with all eyes still on New York and trying to get a result. So it's a balance. It's been that way all month, and I think overall we've done an okay job.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome, buddy.
Jesus, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. You guys have played a lot of games this month. How would you rate the performance of the subs this month, and how much would you rely upon them in these next 2 games?
Well, we're always going to use subs. We're always going to need them, and sometimes those subs are going to be regulars, right, coming in off the bench, and sometimes they're going to be your more traditional second team players that come in traditionally, when you're fully healthy. So this is what we've been preaching before this month even started. That it's a great month in that if you can get results through the month and everybody feels engaged in this, it's a really good thing for team morale. And so far, I think we've done a pretty good job. The one game we lost was in Open Cup, and those are sometimes a little easier to turn the page on. And so now we have an away game in a very tough place, and we have a home game to round this off. So everybody's going to be a part of it, whether they're starting and subs. Overall, if you want a rating, yeah, I've been pleased. And the other thing I spoke about is we're also transitioning a bunch of new guys into this still. And you see it. Sometimes some of the partnerships are off, and you saw it in San Jose. Some of the box defending with Femi and Pablo. It wasn't, where we need it to be, but we need June to really do those reps and get these guys off. So it's not going to be perfect either. We're still tinkering and injuries, and the guys sometimes are playing that are unfamiliar with the guy next to them. Make it work. Figure it out.
And then final question, with this upcoming break after these 2 games, as from a coaching perspective, do you guys take a break, or is it just, do you guys spend that break focusing on how to, make the team better?
We're going to do both. You can do both. You have plenty of time. It would be nice to have some training sessions to, again, continue to incorporate some of these guys and get the principles hammered home, some of the ones that are not easy to just show film on. You have to get reps on the field, and we have to get back to a few of these things that in particular the new guys that don't fully know, and they've been thrown into these games and expected to know exactly what we're doing. So those are where we have a list on the board of things that we want to get to, but it's also important to get the hell away from each other and for them to not look at my face anymore and just not listen to me and the staff and get away. So we'll find the balance.
Perfect.
All right, guys.
Ramon, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just one for me. The reason has already been mentioned. There's a lot of rotation with the squad. Lingard has played central, sometimes on the wing, on the side of the pitch. Where do you feel he's most effective as a game changer that he is?
Well, probably closest to goal, and his ability to run in behind, still be in the pocket, lends it to him being more of a 10. But again, we're figuring that out. I talked about May. We're going to see him wide because Amin's in good form, and Kowalczyk, and because it's been every 3 days, it's a little bit of that next man up mentality where we haven't had the luxury to put him in maybe a spot that we see him. But I know he can do the 10. I know he can do wide left. I know he can do wide right. I've used him at left back and a 5-back already. The other night we did that. He's played a little 4-back when we had an injury or a red card at times. So he's doing a little bit of everything, and that's just where we're at in this moment. Going forward, we'll find him a specific spot to go forward, because I do think it's important to not change guys every week and where they're playing, so they can create better relationships with the people around them.